Hi, my name is Nuala O'Connor and I'd like to talk to you today about our thoughts and our feelings and how our thoughts actually create our feelings. Take for example the thought that I can't cope. I'm feeling overwhelmed at the minute with everything that's going on. And that's okay. I'm well done on being able to verbalise that and acknowledge that, and you may even be able to tell me very clearly what that feels like in your body, because that's what happens. Every thought we have sends out chemical messengers around our body, and those chemical messengers will be ones that encourage us to be able to cope or not to be able to cope. And that's the problem. When we say we can't cope, we send off chemical messengers that trigger a stress response in our system. When that happens, our whole internal immune system gets deprived of energy that's sent out to our external fight or flight system that's on the outside. So the important thing for us is to, even though we acknowledge that, okay, right now I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with all that news, with what's going on in the world, and that's okay, but I choose to do something about it, and that's the challenge. I choose to take that sense of overwhelm and turn it round, and there are many ways of doing that. One could be to make a list of all the things you can do, whether it's the simple thing of gardening, doing the dishes, washing the floor, making the beds, making up some lovely salad. Make a list as long as you like, washing the car, whatever it is. Maybe things you've put off for years, maybe texting somebody you haven't texted in a while. Make that list of all the things that you can do or you would like to do. And the time that then you feel overwhelmed, you got to turn that around. You got to say, okay, even though I feel this overwhelm, here's something I can do. Because overwhelm and that inability to cope normally comes from not feeling we can do something, feeling we're helpless in a situation. And that's what the fight or flight triggers and comes in. We don't need to fly or fight because we're not in that situation. There is no saber-toothed big tiger waiting to attack us. We don't have to get out of the road of a massive danger. We do have to protect ourselves. And in this occasion, staying calm, relaxed, focused and positive are what will keep us safe. Because when the energy is taken away from our immune system, our natural immune system, we lack the inability to digest food and absorb it. We lack the inability to think logically and straight. We lack the inability to sleep properly because the hormones have gone crazy in our system and we're on hyper alert and we're ready for fight or flight. We need to sort of calm that down, and that's where tapping can come in. That's where positive thinking can come in. That's where this list that you've made of all the things you can do, all the things you have done, all the things you can cope with. Make that list and have it there. You might want to create a jar of all the things you can do and all the things you can cope with. And the challenge is to, when you feel overwhelmed or can't cope, you're going to stick your hand into the jar and you're going to pull out a task of something that you can actually do right now and go and do it. And when you do it, you celebrate. You celebrate the fact that you turned the negative sense of cannot cope around into the positive sense of achieving something, of doing something, of getting yourself back into the present moment and not triggering a stress response. And that's what's key. Now, tapping. How can that help? Well, tapping has been proven to calm the parts of the brain that trigger the stress response in the first place, and also to calm the stress hormones and retune the stress hormones that are in our body, clear them away. So we can allow other neurotransmitters and other hormones to continue to do their job effectively, and we can boost our immune system. Tapping also helps to retune negative subconscious thoughts and beliefs, and they're what probably are triggering our stress response, because that's normally what's happening. There are 95% of all of our thoughts going on subconsciously that we're not even aware of them. They're the ones that we need to get aware of, and that's what tapping can do. It can help retune those. So if you have a sense of overwhelm in your body, or you feel the anxiety, you feel the overwhelm, that's normally an indication that you've thought a thought that has caused that feeling in the first place. Okay? Normally subconscious. So what we're going to do is tap on the sense, the feeling of overwhelm. So even though I feel overwhelmed, even though I feel I can't cope, right now I truly am calm. And what we're doing is we're retuning our sensation or our feeling and that thought that goes with it to a new thought and to a new feeling of calm. And watch how your physiology literally changes in your body. So let's go tapping. We're going to do 3 rounds just of this new form of tapping. It's called 2 meridian tapping, where we tap 2 different but related meridians at the same time on the same side of the body as the hand is, and we go round them all in a certain order, and that way we cover 14 main meridians, or energy pathways in our system, and we help to calm down and regulate our neurotransmitter energies. So I'm going to take off my glasses, put them up there in my head, some of the points around the face, and of course you'd have washed your hands before you do this because you're going to be very close to your eyes. Take a breath, put your hands on your solar plex area. Even though I feel I can't cope, right now I truly am calm. Even though I feel I can't cope, right now I truly am calm. Even though I feel I just cannot cope, I'm so overwhelmed with the news, with all that's going on, fear, anxiety. Right now, I truly am calm. Tapping this karate chop point on the little finger side of the hand. Even though I feel I can't cope, right now, I truly am calm. And then clump the fingers of the hand you were just tapping and tap the same point on the other hand. Even though I have this sense that I just can't cope, right now I truly am calm. Then tap 2 fingers under the nose and 2 fingers on the crease of the chin. Even though I have this sense that I just can't cope, this is all too much, I feel overwhelmed, right now I truly am calm. And then just switch the fingers around to tap the points that the other fingers were tapping. That sounds a bit confusing, but I think you get what I mean. Even though I have this amazing sense that I just can't cope, it just overwhelms me, right now I truly am calm. Bring these 2 fingers just to the bone on the inner eye, the other 2 fingers under the collarbone, just under the collarbone on the soft part, out a little bit from the sternum. You haven't gone down to the ribs. Tapping. Even though I feel I just can't cope, I feel totally overwhelmed, right now I truly am calm. And switch those over. Even though there is a part of me that feels I just can't cope, I can't do it anymore, right now I truly am calm. Slide 2 fingers out to the outer eye. The fingers come to the lower end of the ribs, just under the nipple, so you're still on the front of the body, on the bottom last couple of ribs. Tapping. Even though there is a big part of me that feels I just can't cope anymore, right now I truly am calm. And switch those over. Even though there is a big part of me that feels I just can't cope anymore, right now I truly am calm. Sliding these 2 fingers out just in front of the ear, and on this hand you're tapping tip to tip, thumb and little finger, tapping together. Even though there's a big part of me that feels I just can't cope, right now I truly am calm. And then switch those over. Even though there is a big part of me that feels I really can't cope, I feel totally overwhelmed, right now I truly am calm. Slide the 2 fingers at the ear just up to the outer edge of the eyebrow, just slightly above the eyebrow, just there. Middle finger and thumb, tip to tip. Even though there is a big part of me right now that feels I just can't cope. I don't know how to keep on going with this. This is crazy. Right now, I truly am calm. Switch those over. Even though there is a part of me that feels I just can't cope, can't do this. Right now, I truly am calm. Two fingers come under the eye and the bone, just there, just the edge of the bone. The other hand, I tend to clump the fingers, so you can just use one finger, but you're going under the arm, just down from the armpit, about halfway, and you're tapping around that area. Even though there is a big part of me that feels I just can't cope. Right now, I truly am calm. And then switch those over. Even though there is a big, huge part of me, keeps me awake at night, prevents me from getting focused on my jobs and my work. I just don't feel I can cope. This is going on too long. There's just too much stress. Right now, I truly am calm. Bring these two fingers to slide to the crease of the nose. Other side, you're going to the upper outer torso. So earlier you were in here, you're coming out to here, not onto the arm, just on the torso. Even though there is a big, huge part of me that feels I just can't keep going at this rate. I don't know where this is going to end, and it's just causing me stress and distress. Right now, I truly am calm. Switch those over. Even though there's a big part of me that feels totally overwhelmed, unable to cope, unable to focus, unable to stay in the present moment. Right now, I truly am calm. Come back to under the nose, two fingers, the other two fingers around the crease of the chin. Even though there is a big part of me that feels I just can't cope, I can't keep doing this. Right now, I truly am calm. And switch that over. Even though there is a big part of me that feels I just can't cope, can't keep doing this. Right now, I truly am calm. And come back then to your karate chop point. And you can switch over to the other one. Well done. That's one round of 2 meridian tapping. And you may feel that sense of calm, even if it's just the smallest amount of calm coming into your physiology right now, coming into your body. That's a plus. That's the intention of this. That's what tapping can do. Literally retune from stressed states to positive ones. And not only retune your thoughts, but retune the hormones and the physiology of your body that goes with that. And that's what we need. We need to be in a state of calm and peace and relaxation maybe is a better word there, to allow our immune system to work its best. And we all need that right now. We need our immune system to be our best friend and not to be switched off through stress response, through listening to the news and the continuous reports of deaths, and they are very sad, and I send my sympathies to anybody who's been affected during this time of virus with a bereavement in your family. And that will even raise your stress levels even more because of the lack of ability to honour that person and to go through the grieving process, especially here in Ireland where we do it so well and we support each other so much. And that can be a challenge too. But right now, even though there is that overwhelm and all of that stress, right now we can truly choose to be calm. So we're going to do another round of tapping. Similar saying, similar stuff on the same stuff, because that's what we need to retune. So even though I feel I can't cope, I feel overwhelmed, right now I truly am calm. Even though I feel I can't cope, I feel I just need this to stop. I don't see an end. Right now, I truly am calm. Come under the nose, crease of the chin. Even though I just can't see an end to this, even though I feel totally overwhelmed and overstressed, Right now, I truly am calm. And then switch that over. Even though I feel so stressed, so overwhelmed, and a great inability to cope, right now, I truly am calm. Then you're bringing 2 fingers to the inner eye, 2 fingers to under the collarbone, on the soft part. Even though there is such stress in me and in the world, and I feel overwhelmed and unable to cope a lot of the time, right now, I truly am calm. And switch that over. Even though I feel overwhelmed, unable to cope, struggling, right now, I truly am calm. Slide your 2 fingers over to the outer eye. These 2 fingers come under the breast and still on the ribs, just under the nipples, so you're still to the front of the body. Even though I feel overwhelmed, unable to cope, stressed, right now, I truly am calm. And switch those over. This hand switches on this side of the body to the same point that this hand has been on, and this hand goes down to the other point. Even though I feel overwhelmed, stressed, and sometimes there just are no words to describe how I feel. I feel like an out of control train. Always on high alert, always hypervigilant, unable to calm down. Right now, I truly am calm. Slide these 2 fingers straight out in front of the ear. Little finger and thumb tip to tip. Even though I feel so stressed, unable to cope, challenged, overworked in ways and underworked in others, right now I truly am calm. Even though I feel so stressed, so overwhelmed, unable to cope, right now I truly am calm. Come to the outer eye, the upper outer eye and the eyebrow just above it. Middle finger and thumb tip to tip. Even though I feel overwhelmed and stressed and unable to cope, worried, anxious, fearful, right now I truly am calm. Switch it over. Even though I feel worried, anxious, fearful, stressed, unable to cope, right now I truly am calm. Bring these 2 fingers to under the eye. Clump the fingers under the arm, on the ribs. Even though I feel overwhelmed, stressed, unable to cope, right now I truly am calm. Switch it over. Even though I feel stressed and overwhelmed and unable to cope, right now I truly am calm. Slide these 2 fingers to the crease of the nose, and in this hand you clump the fingers and put them on your outer torso, upper part, on the ribs again. Even though I feel so stressed and overwhelmed, unable to cope, right now I truly am calm. And switch those over. Even though I feel very stressed, unable to cope, overwhelmed, right now I truly am calm. 2 fingers under the nose, crease of the chin. Even though I feel overstressed, unable to cope, right now I truly am calm. Switch those over. Even though I feel overstressed and unable to cope, I feel overwhelmed, anxious, worried, right now I truly am calm. And then bring your fingers clumped back to the karate chop point. I truly am calm. And just feel that in your body. What colour does calm look like to you? What colour would your insides be? Think of the rainbow. You can see it there behind me. What colour would represent calm for you? You might be a sky blue. You might be a nice gentle pink. It might be a yellow, green. What colour represents that calm for you? And this time as I tap the points, I'm not going to say any words. But I invite you to say whatever the colour is for you that calm represents. So I truly am peaceful green. I truly am light blue. I truly am, whatever the vibration, whatever the colour is, because every colour carries a vibration. And it just helps us to embody that frequency, that vibration, and again helps to transform any feeling of overwhelm or stress and bring us to that state of calm. So here I go. I'm going to tap the points and you're going to say I truly am, and whatever the colour is. So I might say I truly am, and you add in whatever it is for you, whatever colour, whatever scene, whatever it is that depicts calm. And you may not have one, you may not be able to do that, and that's fine. Just say I truly am calm. We'll just do one round of that. We're not going to use the word stress or anything in it. We're going to totally now refocus our energy to the positive that we want to be, because remember, that's the intention of this tapping. To retune not only our neurotransmitters and our meridian energy points to their best balanced frequency, but to also retune our thought patterns and our subconscious negative thoughts to a positive present tense state. Excuse me, I'm just going to take a drink of water, because all we have is now. Tickly cough from all the talking. All we have is now. And so it's in the now that we have the possibility of changing what we think and how we feel, because it's what we think determines how we feel. Every thought we have goes through our little computer system, and it will trigger off a chemical messenger, a neurotransmitter, off around our body, which will heighten up different hormones and cause muscles to do whatever. We're either going for fight or flight or rest and repair, which is the immune system. So we're either triggering the stress response or the immune system. They're the two. What we want to have is stress response down, immune system up. So by retuning our stressed thoughts and feelings to a state of calm, that's what we're doing. We're trying to rise up our immune system, rise up the ability for it to work, and lower our stress response. So last round. So what I've just said, if you've just joined us, we're going to tap one round. I'm going to show you the points. You're going to say the phrase. I'm just going to say I truly am, and you can either say calm, or you can replace that word calm with whatever colour represents calm for you. It could be a lovely soft blue sky. It could be beautiful green grass. It could be lovely light pink, a soft orange, whatever the colour is for you. So here we go, tapping the karate chop point. I truly am. And if you don't have a colour, just say calm. Switch over to the other side, tapping. I truly am. Then you're coming up to 2 fingers under the nose, 2 fingers on the crease of the chin. I truly am. And then switch those over. I truly am. And if you, as I said, if you don't have a colour, just say I truly am calm. Come to the inner eye, under the collarbone. I truly am. And switch that over. I truly am, and it could be calm. Slide these 2 fingers out to the outer eye on the bone there, and these fingers are going to go under the breast, still on the ribs, the lower ribs, just in front of the nipple, just under the nipple. I truly am calm or peaceful blue, whatever it is for you. Switch that over. I truly am. Sliding your fingers just in front of the ear, little finger and thumb tip to tip, tapping. I truly am. Switch those over in front of the ear, little finger and thumb, tip to tip. I truly am. It could be calm, it could be peaceful blue, it could be gentle pink, whatever it is that creates that energy of calm in your system. And sometimes by imagining a colour or saying that and vibrating to that, it increases the effect on our physical being. Switching 2 fingers to the edge of the eyebrow, upper, outer part, middle finger and thumb, tip to tip. I truly am. And switch that over. I truly am calm. Or whatever colour it is for you. Under the eye, under the arm. I truly am calm. And switch that over. I truly am calm. Come to the crease of the nose. Come to fingers, and you're coming here to the upper outer torso. I truly am. And switch that over. I truly am. Come back under the nose, crease of the chin. I truly am. And switch that over. I truly am. Back to the karate chop point. I truly am. If it's a colour or just even calm. And switch it over to the other side. I truly am calm. I truly am gentle pink. Whatever it is for you. Bringing your hands resting back on your solar plex area to finish off our 3 rounds of tapping today. For helping us to overcome states of overwhelm, feeling we can't cope, fear, anxiety, and retuning to a state of calm. Because in a state of fear and overwhelm, we trigger a stress response when there are thoughts and there are the feelings that come from those thoughts. When we're in a state of calm, we allow our body to be in rest and repair, which is allowing our immune system to be working effectively. And that's what we need right now. We need an effective immune system. We don't need the stress response. There is no saber-toothed tiger out there. We're in our homes, we're cocooned. And when we're stressed, we're easily irritated. Noise affects us. We can't sleep properly. We probably are eating stodgy foods. We can't think straight. We lose our logical brain, really. So we don't need that. We need to be in a state of rest and repair, calm, logical thinking. And as I said at the beginning of this video, create your list of all the things you can do. Make it like a to-do list. All the things you have done already, maybe, that you're ticking off. And when you get that sense of overwhelm, lift the list, look at it and say, okay, here's something I can do. Here's a way I can be active and proactive and positive and making effective change, as opposed to dwelling on the overwhelm and what I can't do, like cope or go visit my family. There are things maybe I can't do, but maybe I can do it in other ways. Make that list, and that's what you go to, that's what you grab. This is what I can do. The other suggestion I'm going to give to you just before I leave is get a pad of Post-its. Mine are always written on. And write affirmations on them, like, I truly am calm. I truly can do this. I truly am my best self. I truly got this. I truly am okay. Any of those statements or anything like that. And post them around your house. So that they're the things, they're the thoughts you're looking at as you go about your day. And they will trigger you into the current situation, into the present, and trigger you into a positive thought, which again will lower your stress response and so raise your autoimmune system. Now remember that stress is anything that causes our system to go into a stress response, our perception, our ability not to cope with whatever. So it could be a food, it could be something you're drinking, it could be coffee, it could be alcohol. You need to stick to what is going to help you not trigger a stress response. Too much alcohol in your body will trigger a stress response within your body. We need calm, rest and repair. Having the odd drink, the odd time is going to be fine. But stay within calm, rest and repair as much as you can. And admitting that you can't cope is the first step. And admitting that you're fearful and admitting that you're irritated is the first step. And then tune that over. Use the tapping videos to tune that over to a positive present tense response. Thank you for watching. This online business is really taken off for me, and if you feel that you need to have maybe some one-to-one online wellness coaching, I use kinesiology and tapping and some energy balancing techniques that I have online, and if the feedback from clients is that it's going well and it's working well, and if that's what you need right now, contact me and we can arrange a one-to-one session. Other than that, keep tapping, keep focusing on the present, and keep retuning those negative thoughts to positive ways. As I said, it's fabulous that you can admit what the thoughts you're thinking are and how it's making you feel. The challenge is to immediately then retune that to a positive frequency so that we are in a rest and repair state to allow our immune system to be its best self. And we can also help that with a good, balanced, healthy diet full of fruit and veg, drinking water, a bit of exercise, going to sleep on time every night with no machines, talking to people, big one, and tapping. Keep safe, keep well. Happy tapping.